Hi everybody, it's time for math again today, so let's do some review. We have been talking about geometry. We talked about some lines and some angles, so let's see if we can remember what these are called. Okay, you ready for it? Look at this. It has arrows on both ends. What do we call that? If you said line, you are correct. This is a line just like a number line. It goes on forever in both directions, in each direction. All right, everybody, look at this one. I see end points. If it's end points, it means it stops. What do we call this? This is a line segment. Good. Now here it has a combination of both. I see one end point and one arrow, meaning it starts here and it goes this way forever. What do we call this? That's a ray. Can we also add another end point? Nope, not an end point. Can we also add another line? Yes, we can. We can have several rays coming from the same end point. Good job. Let's go down to these purple ones. These are special lines. Here I see two lines just like this, but they go on in each direction forever and they never cross. Do you remember what we call those kind of lines? If you said parallel, you are right. So let's look at how that's spelled. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Parallel lines. They go on forever. They don't stop. Here I see two different kinds of lines. These lines cross each other, don't they? What do we call any two lines that cross each other? Think hard. Do you remember? We call lines that cross each other intersecting lines. If they cross, they are intersecting. They can cross in any direction. They can cross here, or they can cross like a cross. It's still an intersecting line. Here's another special line. Yes, it's also intersecting, but it crosses exactly even and gives us a right angle in every corner. Do you remember what kind of lines those are? Those lines are called, can you remember? Perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are lines that cross and they're exactly straight up and down like a cross. You could turn it this way, any direction, and it would still be a perpendicular cross there. Good job. Let's go up to these angles. Right here, do you see these three angles? An angle, if you remember, there are two rays that come from the same end point. That's an angle too. Two rays coming from the same end point. Here's the end point. They go this way. It forms a square. Do you remember this type of angle? What do we call that? We call that a right angle because we can make a square in the corner. If it's smaller than a right angle, because we couldn't make a square here, it's too small. It's little, it's cute, so we call it an acute angle because it's smaller than halfway. Here's your right angle, here's your acute angle. What if instead of being smaller than the right angle, it's bigger? Do you remember what those are called? Those are obtuse angles. Those are the three kinds of angles that we have studied so far. All right. Hi everybody, it's time for math again today, so let's do some review. We have been talking about geometry. We talked about some lines and some angles, so let's see if we can remember what these are called. Okay, you ready for it? Look at this. It has arrows on both ends. What do we call that? If you said line, you are correct. This is a line just like a number line. It goes on forever in both directions, in each direction. All right, everybody, look at this one. I see end points. If it's end points, it means it stops. What do we call this? This is a line segment. Good. Now here it has a combination of both. I see one end point and one arrow, meaning it starts here and it goes this way forever. What do we call this? That's a ray. Can we also add another end point? Nope, not an end point. Can we also add another line? Yes, we can. We can have several rays coming from the same end point. Good job. Let's go down to these purple ones. These are special lines. Here I see two lines just like this, but they go on in each direction forever and they never cross. Do you remember what we call those kind of lines? If you said parallel, you are right. So let's look at how that's spelled. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Parallel lines. They go on forever. They don't stop. Here I see two different kinds of lines. These lines cross each other, don't they? What do we call any two lines that cross each other? Think hard. Do you remember? We call lines that cross each other intersecting lines. If they cross, they are intersecting. They can cross in any direction. They can cross here, or they can cross like across. It's still an intersecting line. Here's another special line. Yes, it's also intersecting, but it crosses exactly even and gives us a right angle in every corner. Do you remember what kind of lines those are? Those lines are called, can you remember? Perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are lines that cross, and they're exactly straight up and down like a cross. You could turn it this way, any direction, and it would still be a perpendicular cross there. Good job. Let's go up to these angles. Right here, do you see these three angles? An angle, if you remember, there are two rays that come from the same end point. That's an angle too. Two rays coming from the same end point. Here's the end point. They go this way. It forms a square. Do you remember this type of angle? What do we call that? We call that a right angle because we can make a square in the corner. If it's smaller than a right angle, because we couldn't make a square here, it's too small. It's little, it's cute, so we call it an acute angle because it's smaller than halfway. Here's your right angle, here's your acute angle. What if instead of being smaller than the right angle, it's bigger? Do you remember what those are called? Those are obtuse angles. Those are the three kinds of angles that we have studied so far. All right. The next thing that we're going to learn about in geometry is something called a polygon. Polygon. It's a funny word, isn't it? It's not a pollywog, tadpole. It's a polygon. What is a polygon? It is any closed, flat figure with straight sides. We need to think through each of these words, don't we? A closed, flat figure with straight sides. Well, let's talk about this. First of all, I want you to think about whether or not these are open or closed. See if you can figure it out. Now I see a shape right here. What do you think about this one? Is this open or is it closed? Well, there's no openings on that one, right? This one is a closed figure. Look at this. Do you see any openings on that one? Nope, that's closed. What about this? I see an opening right there. I can see how something could get inside. That's open. That's not a polygon. It can't be because it's open. What about this one? It's kind of a funny shape. It is closed though. There's no openings. It is closed. What about this? That's an open figure. That's an open figure. There's an opening on it. So if it's a polygon, it has to be closed. That's the first thing. We have two more to think about. Let's go to the next one. Straight sides or curved. If it's a polygon, it has to be a closed figure with straight sides. Let's look and see if these are straight sides. Does this have straight sides or curved sides? These look straight to me, right? What about this? Definitely a curve. It's all a curve, isn't it? That's not any straight sides. Does this have straight sides or curved sides? Straight sides. What about that? It has both, doesn't it? So guess what? If it has any curved sides at all, that means it doesn't have all straight sides. In order for it to be a polygon, it has to have all straight sides. So this can't be a polygon. Ooh, look at this one. This is a cool one. A star. Are all the sides of it straight? They are. They're all straight. There are a bunch of them, but they're all straight. That's good. What about this? No, that has curved sides, 2 of them. This one, this oval, there are no straight sides on that, huh? Look at this figure right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight sides. So that figure has straight sides as well. So in order for it to be a polygon, it has to be closed, and it has to have straight sides. Let's see what the third one is. It has to be flat. Flat is the opposite of 3D when we're here. Look at this one. What do you think this is? This is a flat figure. It's not 3D. What about this drawing? That's 3D. So that can't be a polygon. 3D is not polygon. This one? That's a circle. It's flat. We know it's not a polygon because it doesn't have straight sides, but it is flat. Is this flat? Nope, that's 3D. Is this flat? 3D. Is this flat? It's just on paper. It means it's written on paper. It's not like a big figure you can hold in your hand. What about this one, this arrow? This arrow is also flat because it's drawn on paper. If it's drawn on paper like this, it is flat. If it's a 3D shape, it is not. So a polygon has to have straight sides, it has to be closed, and it has to be flat. So let's check these out. Polygons are closed, flat, and have straight sides. Are these polygons? Let's see here. Okay, first of all, is this closed? Yes. Is it flat? It's not 3D, right? Does it have straight sides? It does. So guess what? This one is a polygon. Good thinking. Okay, let's go here. Is it closed? No, it's not. So right away, we know this is not. It is flat. It has straight sides, but it's not closed. So it can't be. Let's come to this one. Is this closed? It is closed. Is it flat? It's not 3D. Does it have straight sides? Nope. That is not a polygon. Come to the next one here. Is it closed? Yes. Is it flat? Yes. Does it have straight sides? Yes. So guess what? What is it called? A polygon. Closed? Flat? Straight sides? Nope. Circles are not polygons. Closed? Yes. Flat? Yes. Straight sides? Nope, not a polygon. Closed? Well, yeah. Flat? No. Each of those things has straight sides. That's a 3D shape. Closed? Yes. Flat? Yes. Straight sides? So what's it called? It's a polygon. Ooh, our star. Is it closed? Is it flat, like on paper? Does it have straight sides? You'll be happy to know the star is a polygon. What do you think about this one? Did you say no right away? It's a 3D shape, so it cannot be a polygon. Okay, so we've learned about some polygons. Now I want to talk about some of the special names for the polygons. So let's look at the next page here. Special names. Some of these you already know. You ready? What do you think this one is called? Yeah, a triangle. Look at that right there. How many straight sides does a triangle have? Right, 1, 2, 3. 3 sides. Is this a polygon? Oh yeah. Is this a polygon? Yeah, it is. How many sides? Yup. And what kind of shape is this? Do you remember? Yeah, you're right. It's a square. Ooh, look at this one. How many sides? Yep. What's it called? Do you remember? It's a rectangle, isn't it? Those are the ones we kind of already know. Oh, that one's interesting. It looks like a box that has been kind of moved over on its side. Well, how many sides does it have, first off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 sides. But it has a different kind of a name. Are you ready for it? It's called a rhombus. A rhombus. That H is silent. A rhombus. And if you think about it, I guess you could kind of think of it as a bus moving forward really fast, huh? It's a rhombus. It has 4 sides. All right. Let's come down to this one here. Not my email. There we go. How many sides does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-sided polygon. Do you remember what that name is? We've said it before in here. First of all, it has 5 sides, and it is called a pentagon. There's a building in Washington, D.C. called the Pentagon, and it has 5 sides to it. Pentagon means a 5-sided polygon. All right, let's come here to this one. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Do you remember what a 6-sided polygon is called? Anybody? Were you right? Did you know it was a hexagon? All right, let's look at the next one. Here we have this figure that's a polygon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you know what an 8-sided polygon is called? It is called an octagon. Anybody know another word that starts with octa? How about an octopus? How many legs does an octopus have? 8. How many sides on an octagon? 8. Good job. Let's go over to this one. Oh, this is different. How many sides does this polygon have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Anyone know what this one's called? This one is called a trapezoid. Kind of think of it as like a mousetrap maybe. So if we have this shape and I move it up and here comes something right here and I want to trap it, then I can make it fall down on top of it and I can trap that little thing there, right? That's how I think of a trapezoid. So we have a trapezoid with 4 sides. So let's review. 3-sided polygon is a triangle. 4-sided polygons, there's 4 of the 4-sided polygons. A square has equal sides. Rectangles have 4 sides, but the opposite are the same. Rhombus, it's like a sideways box. Looks like a bus going forward. Has 4 sides that are slanted. This one, the bottoms are going out. That's called a trapezoid. What do we call an 8-sided polygon? An octagon. How about a 6-sided polygon? A hexagon. What about a 5-sided polygon? A pentagon, yes. All right, so not only that, but I want to bring your attention to, not that, there we go. There's another special way we can classify some of these polygons. A quadrilateral. Try that with me. Quadrilateral. It has 5 syllables. One more time, you try it. Quadrilateral. Good. A quadrilateral is any polygon that has 4 straight sides. Okay? Any polygon that has 4 straight sides. Does this have 4 straight sides? It is not a quadrilateral. What about this one? Is this a 4-sided polygon? Yes, so it gets a special name. It's also a quadrilateral. Quad. I think of the Quad Cities, right? Do you know what quad means? Have you ever heard of quadruplets? How many babies are born if you have quadruplets? 4. So a 4-sided shape is a quadrilateral. Quad means 4. Is this a quadrilateral? Yeah, you're right, it is. It's a 4-sided polygon. Is this a quadrilateral? It's a 4-sided polygon. 4-sided polygon. Well, I don't even have to think much about these guys because they don't have 4 sides. 4-sided polygons are called quadrilateral. So remember what quad means. Quad means 4. So if it's a polygon with 4 sides, it's a quadrilateral. Now there's one more special word. A parallelogram. That's another big word, isn't it? Parallelogram. Oh my goodness, do you hear what I hear at the beginning? Parallel. What kind of lines are parallel? Didn't we say lines that never ever cross are parallel? Right. So let's see what a parallelogram is. Oh, gram. We know that too. To gram has the Latin root. It is the Latin root for write, isn't it? Gram and graph. So writing a parallel shape. It is, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral, 4 sides, that has opposite sides, parallel and equal. Let's see what that means. Opposite sides right here. Are these parallel to each other? They would never cross. Are these equal in size? Let's check the other part, the other side. Is this parallel to this? Yes, it is. Are they equal in size? Guess what? This is also a parallelogram. It is a polygon, a closed flat figure that has straight sides. It is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides, and it's a parallelogram because the opposite sides are parallel and equal. Good job. Let's look at this one. Is this side parallel and equal to that side? Why, yes, it is. Are these sides parallel and equal to each other? So guess what? This is also a parallelogram. Pretty cool. Let's go to the rhombus. Is this side parallel and equal? Well, parallel, they'll never touch. Are they equal in size? Yeah, they are. So let's try the bottom. Is this parallel and equal in size to that one? Yeah, it is. It's moved over a little bit, but they're exactly the same. So guess what? This is a parallelogram also. Let's go over to the trapezoid. Is this side parallel and equal to that side? Well, they're parallel, but are they the same size? Nope. Is this side parallel and equal? Are they parallel? No, they're going to cross. Are they equal in size? Well, they are. But this one is not a parallelogram. It can be a parallelogram because it's not parallel and equal. All right? Would you please get your book out, your hardcover book, open it up to page 308. You are also going to need this sheet. It is in your folder. We're going to be doing some work with this. So what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and get those things out, this and your hardcover book and a pencil. Pause the video if you need to, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do this page. All right, third graders, I hope you have this page out. We're going to classify these shapes as different things that we've been learning about in geometry. So first off, I want you to put your name on this paper. And then let's look at what it says. At the top, we have figure. That's the name of the polygon, the shape. Number of sides, number of vertices, number of angles, and is it a quadrilateral? We're going to start this together. So what I would like you first to do is to get this paper, and I would like you to write these 8 shapes on there. If you notice on page 308 in your book at the top, these shapes are written in order. Triangle is at the top, then you have a whole row, square, rectangle, rhombus, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, and then the last one on there is a trapezoid. So you can copy them from your book, or if you can pause this video, you can copy them off of there, whatever's easiest for you to do. Please write in those names, and then you can come back and we'll get started. All right, let's begin. Let's think about this triangle. Notice in your book the triangle's there. It's kind of got a pink inside, doesn't it? A triangle. A triangle, number of sides. How many sides are on a triangle? 3, right. So what I want you to do is write the number 3 underneath the number of sides. And I'm going to actually change colors just because then hopefully I can help keep up with you, make it a little easier. Whoa, I did that wrong, didn't I? I'm glad you caught that. 3. The triangle has 3 sides. All right, let's go down. A square. How many sides does a square have? 4, of course. How about a rectangle? Yes, 4. A rhombus. You can look back in your book if you need to. It looks like the bus. A rhombus. How many sides does that have? 4. Yeah. Okay, look at your pentagon in your book. How many sides does the pentagon have? Count the number of sides and write it in. Did you get 5? I hope so. I hope so. All right, next we'll go to the hexagon. Count the number of sides on that, please. Write that in. Aha, did you get 6? That's not showing up really dark. I'm just going to go to a different color. There we go. All right, do the same for the octagon, please. Think octopus, octagon. How many sides is that? 8. Good job. And then finally the trapezoid. Think of it being a trap. How many sides does the trapezoid have, guys? It has 4. Good. Good. Okay, so we've got that in there. A vertex. A number of vertices. The vertex is the point. Can I have everybody look in their hardcover book? I want you to turn all the way, put something in there to keep your place. I want you to turn all the way back to page 16 in this book. 1-6. Page 16, please. Once you're there, I want you to look carefully at it. This page talks about sides and vertices. Look at page 16. At the top, it says, a side is a straight line that bounds a closed figure. It's the boundary. It's the border. The point where 2 sides meet is called a vertex. It's a corner. On the picture here, there is a triangle. The lines that go together, those are called sides, but each of the points where they touch, it's called a vertex. Each one of them is vertex. This word vertex is a Rule 4 word when it comes to making it plural. Vertex is 1. If we make it plural, it doesn't follow the rules. Instead, they're called vertices. This is the plural of vertex. So what they want us to do is to count the corners. Look back at page 16. Do you see the circle there? Does that have any sides, any flat sides, any vertices? No, it does not. Look at the green shape. What is that shape called? Yeah, that's a rectangle. How many vertices, or how many sides? We'll do sides first. How many sides does the rectangle have? It has 4. Now the vertices, how many points, how many corners are on this shape of the rectangle? There are 4. It has 4 vertices. Go to the next one, a yellow shape. What do we call it? A square. How many sides? 4. How many vertices? How many corners? Yeah, 4. Go to the third shape, the orange one. What do we call that shape? Triangle. How many sides? 3. How many vertices? 3. There's 3 corners. All right, would you turn back in your book, all the way back to page 308? I hope you marked where it was. Page 308. Now we're going to count some vertices. Let's think of a triangle. Look in your book. We just did this one, didn't we? There are, how many vertices are there on a triangle? How many corners? 3. Yeah, 3 vertices. Cool. Now, let's go this way. Angles. Remember, an angle is where it comes together. You could have an acute angle, a right angle, an obtuse angle. So let's count how many inside angles there are. Let me just draw a triangle right here. Okay, so we've got, here's a vertex, here's a vertex, here's a vertex. So how many angles would be that? Well, there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, the number of vertices is the same number of angles here. Angles and vertices are different. The vertex, the vertices are the points, the corners. The angles are the insides. There are 3. Is this a quadrilateral? What does quadrilateral mean? Quad means how many sides? 4. Does this have 4 sides? It's not. So no, it is not a quadrilateral. All right, let's move on. Let's look at the square. We said a square has 4 sides. How many vertices, how many corners are there in a square, on the square? Yep, there are 4. Make sure you write that in. Now, how many angles? That's the inside part. Yeah, there are 4. What kind of angles are those? Those are squares, aren't they? So they are called right angles. Good. Is it a quadrilateral? Well, it has 4 sides. So is it quadrilateral? Sure is. Write in yes. You're doing great. Keep hanging in. We're almost done with this. Okay, let's go to a rectangle. We said it has 4 sides. So look in your book if you need to look at what a rectangle looks like. How many vertices? It's how many corners, how many points? Yep, 4. How many angles are there on the inside of this rectangle? 4 as well. 4 right angles. Is it a quadrilateral? Sure is. Think of your rhombus, the bus moving forward. We said it has 4 sides. How many vertices? How many corners? 4. How many angles are there? If you said 4, you're right. They're not square though. They're not right angles. There are 2 acute angles and 2 obtuse angles on there. Look at your rhombus. Do you see how 2 sides are little and 2 sides are wide? If we turn it sideways, it kind of looks like a kite. This one does. All right. Is it a quadrilateral? Remember, a quadrilateral is a polygon that has 4 sides. So is it a quadrilateral? Yes, it is. Okay, guys, we're more than halfway done. We only have 4 more of these to go. Pentagon, look in your book. A pentagon has 5 sides. We said that already. How many vertices? Maybe you should count them. Look in your book, find the pentagon. Count how many corners you see. Did you count 5? I did. So I see a pattern. Do you see the pattern? 3 sides, 3 vertices, 3 angles. 4 sides, 4 vertices, 4 angles. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. You think maybe it's 5? Let's check. Look in your book at the pentagon. Count how many obtuse angles you see. Do you see 5? I do. That's pretty cool. Is it a quadrilateral? Why not? It doesn't have 4 sides. In order for it to be a quadrilateral, it has to have 4 sides. All right, let's go on to hexagon. We said it has 6 sides. Do you think it's going to count? It's going to continue with the same pattern? Look in your book. Count the corners. Count the angles. What do you think it is? Yes. A hexagon has 6 sides, 6 vertices, and 6 angles. So is it a quadrilateral? No way. Octagon. It has 8 sides. How many vertices? So how many angles? Is it a quadrilateral? Write those in. Then we have one more to go. The last one here is a trapezoid. Let's look. The trapezoid is the one that looks like a trap. It has 4 sides. And I want you to look in your book on 308. Look at the bright orangey yellow figure. How many vertices do you see? Count them, please. Yeah, I see 4 as well. How many angles do you see in there? Did you get 4? Good. Now here's the big question. Is it a quadrilateral? Remember, the definition of a quadrilateral is a polygon that has 4 sides. Is a trapezoid a polygon with 4 sides? Guess what? Yes, it is. It is a quadrilateral. Great job today. I know this was a lot of putting information down, but here's a really good record sheet for you to be able to remember these things. Tomorrow, on our next day's lesson, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this, and tomorrow you will need your dot paper. You have that in there. Yours is double-sided, so you can have that out and ready to go. And this is all we have for today for math. Y'all have a great day.